Oh my goodness! I found a ripe one! There's a red one here! Guess what I'm having today in my salad? Hello, howdy, and welcome back to another plant update. I'm Catherine, and I'm the AeroGarden Homesteader. So this is the new lettuce. It has been looking great. These are also some of the new lettuce, and I did manage to find some room. So I do now only have 3 in this bounty, though I do have some, I don't know if you can see that. I don't think my fan is high enough to blow up here, so I'm getting a little bit of the, like a calcium deficiency because it's not getting enough airflow. So, unfortunate, but it happens. So I had to put my fan up on some blocks, actually on some jars, and we'll see if that helps. Here is the cabbage. I just love watching the cabbage. Oh my gosh, it is just the coolest thing. I don't know if you can see the heads forming. It's just so cool. Although I think I do need to take off another leaf. This one here has got a little bit of yellow going on. So it is what it is. Down here, the greens are in the way. So my leek, I feel like it has just completely filled the basket at this point. So I probably need to use the leek. These green bunching onions don't seem like they're doing all that great. They're just kind of the same. Like nothing has changed. The bunching onions back here, they've gotten really big, and so this one has crowded out its companion. And I feel like this one is starting to crowd out its companion, so I might have to just harvest those and just call them done. Normally I would have harvested them a lot sooner and kept them a little smaller because I would have just been cutting them down each time, but that didn't happen. So, I mean, it's a bit of a shame, but you know, my lettuce just didn't come in when I expected it to. We have the peppers, and oh my goodness, this one has gotten quite big. I don't know if you can see. So this is supposed to be the mild Anaheim. And I lost a leaf. Oh well. So I think these ones are all from the same plant. And then this is the snacking one, I think. And then we got the cherry tomatoes in the back there. Let's see if I can show you them a little bit better. Move stuff out of the way. So none of them have turned red yet. They're still pretty small. I've lost a few flowers as well, but it's not too shabby. And this, got some nice green beans off of this, or I guess purple beans. There's looks like there's 3 or 4 in here that I can harvest, and a few more on the way. So there's one up here as well. So that's pretty good. So this one, it's interesting that there's like a set of old leaves here that are just looking kind of ratty, and then there's just like these new leaves. They've put out a whole bunch of new growth, new flowers. It's just gotten all bushy again. So this is doing really well. This has been a really good plant for inside, and it stayed within the confines of the bounty. It hasn't it didn't do the same thing the pea plant did. Let's just put it that way, if you remember the pea plant. And here are the strawberries. They seem like they're doing pretty good, but again, you know, I do actually have spider mites here, so I think I'm going to just try to put them in a pot, see how they do. And they're putting out runners, so if you want strawberries indoors, you gotta clip the runners off. But since I'm just, you know, since they're infested, I'm going to let them do runners so I can get more plants so that I can put them outside and have a bigger, you know, patch of strawberries. The cilantro seems like it's doing okay, but I think there's only like 1 or 2 in there, so I guess we'll see. And then the little one in the back, it's sort of struggling and trucking along, but you know, we'll see what happens. I might let that one go a little bit longer and just put these other 4 in a pot. Those are the strawberries. Okay, more lettuce. So this one is the original one, or I guess the second batch. And then this one I transplanted over from the Bounty, I think. And see, it's got that same problem with the calcium deficiency. I don't think it's getting enough airflow. And I think some of it might actually have to do with the type of plant it is, because this one's got like a tight head. but I don't know. This one's a new one. The two back there are the old ones, so they're doing really good. This one, I feel like it might be starting to go to seed, but we'll see. I feel like I still have a good amount of harvesting I can do off of that. Got the kale. Kale's looking good. It's growing slow, so I think that's a good thing. So it's not, you know, taking over the sprout so badly that I'm just having to prune it back hard, but it has been growing well. So this one feels like the, I don't know how to describe it, but the leaves feel more dense. It's like the curls are really intense. I got this one, this sprout, doing pretty good. I think this one has definitely gone to seed. I can definitely feel, I think I can see a flower there starting to form, a flower head. So I will probably cut this one out. The one back here is still pretty good. So that's good. And then we've got the bronze romaine. I've been slowly cutting those ones out because I do feel like they might also be going to seed. So this one will be the next one I cut out, probably followed by this one because they're kind of the tallest ones. It's funny how they never really formed, like they formed a head, but they never really formed a real head. And this one's split, so it's got two. I don't know if I can show you. That's the thing, is it feels like it's got two stalks and two heads. I don't know if you can see right here. So there's a split there and there. It's really weird. I feel like they all kind of split a little bit. Yeah, well, it is what it is. So these are two new ones from the Bounty. See, these ones are doing fine. I don't know why. There's a difference. I think they're getting a bit more airflow. They must be. But this was the bok choy, and it finally, the last one went to seed. It's really interesting. The bok choy, it would look good one day, and then the next day I would come down to put water in, and it had gone to seed. Like, literally overnight, a flower would form. It's the strangest thing. So this is some more of the older lettuce. Still going. I can't tell with these bushier ones when they go to seed. They just kind of, all of a sudden, they're just going to seed. But this is really, I gotta prune this back a little bit. This one's getting a little out of hand. And then these are more lettuce plants from the, I'm pretty sure these ones are from the Bounty as well. So they're doing pretty good. This one's pretty squat, pretty compact. And then this one's kind of a little more spread out. I can probably start harvesting from this one. Honestly, there's a few of them from the new batch that I can probably start harvesting from. This one is definitely one of them. It has just gone insane. I think the ones back there, I might be able to start harvesting maybe in another week. So, on to the other kale. This one is like it's growing fine, but I've been getting a lot of yellow leaves. And I don't know if that's because I've just been leaving them on and ignoring them. So I've been, normally I try to harvest the bottom leaves, but because they've been yellow, I've just been skipping them and going on to the next set of leaves. And it feels like each plant has a set of leaves on the bottom that has gone yellow, unfortunately. So the basil looks awesome. I need to go through and prune it if I want to keep it sort of shorter and make it more bushy and keep it compact. But yeah, I don't use basil, so I really should just find a way to use basil. I should just harvest it up and at least dry it out. I don't know if you guys care about these, but get some of the water off. The chive, still kind of just doing its thing. The strawberries, I don't know that they've actually changed. It's hard to tell. I hope they live, but, you know, it is what it is. The cumin, let me go back a little bit. The cumin looks awesome. So, I think at this point, it has been a water hog, but I'm just waiting for it to, dry out. I do think, I hate to say it, but I think I got some spider mites. I don't know if you can see the delicate spider webbing. I'll have to look back on the footage and see if that shows up, but I'm trying to, dang. I was hoping to prevent those from coming down here. I do look like I have, let me highlight it with my hand, make sure I'm in the right spot. Got a little bit of cumin forming, so some of it's starting to dry out finally. Let me see if I can highlight the, right there where my hand is, there's spider mites, a little bit of delicate webbing going on. Dang, I wonder how they got down here. That's annoying. Oh well. For the most part, everything's going to come down in the probably beginning of summer, because then I'll have an outdoor garden at that point. So these are little leeks. This one is definitely getting a lot bigger. The one in the back there is getting a lot bigger. So I do feel like I've got some that are starting to get to the point where I could begin harvesting them and using them for leek goodness. Whoops. There we go. Just gotta go through and do some maintenance. Gotta go through and do some feeding as well. Today is feeding day. The celery is still kind of doing that hollow thing. The celery is a really big water guzzler, and I think that's because I've got 6 in there. I think it would be a lot more appropriate to only have 4 celery plants per bounty. So it was a good experiment. Now I know, and going forward, I think I would only put 4 in. And it's fine to have just, you know, just do as many bounties as you want kind of thing. The cucumber is very sad. So I don't know if the last 2 extra curly cucumbers are going to make it. The powdery mildew has just gotten so bad. I feel like it's probably in the best interest of the plant and my sanity to probably just take this out, clean everything up, and just not worry about it. It'll also make a little bit more space, but you know, it'll be sad to see the cucumber go because, you know, I've been enjoying the cucumber. Obviously this one is still doing pretty good. I've got a little bit of browning on the tips. The other one had some browning on the tips as well. It's still got the hollow thing going on. I'm sure it's, you know, the internet said hollow is because it's not getting enough water, and I think it's just going through the water in the reservoir so fast that I can't keep up with it. So that's why I would recommend 4 at most. 3 would probably be better, honestly, but broccoli. I really think this was the winner. The cabbage has been really cool, but the broccoli has been awesome because I've been able to enjoy it. You know, it's been producing. The broccoli, you know, I just come in, cut down a couple of little florets and put it in my salad. The cabbage hasn't done anything yet. So, you know, even though it's doing its little head and it's forming things, I think the broccoli has been the winner of this winter garden, honestly. Okay, let me see if I can even attempt to show you the peppers that are going on in here. Still no ripe peppers. Sorry for the weird angle. So I still have these little snacking peppers. They do look like they're getting a little lighter in color, so they might be starting to change. These mystery peppers that look like a jalapeno. Oh my goodness! I found a ripe one. There's a red one here. Guess what I'm having today in my salad? Oh, yeah, I didn't even see that until just now. Cool. Okay, but anyways, back to these ones that look like a jalapeno. I should probably pick one and figure out, like, what the heck it is. Is it spicy or not? And then the one in the back, I'm going to get a whole bunch of leaves in your way for a second. So I thought it was a baby bell, but I don't know. Those don't look like bells. So, another mystery pepper. The tomatoes. Still no ripe tomatoes, but I don't know if you can tell. This one here, the shade of green has changed. So it's kind of like, it's got a bit more of that yellowy blush to it. So maybe it's just a giant cherry tomato? I don't know, that's an awful big cherry tomato. I do think I need another trellis because that branch is not supported very well. And then this one is the Roma Amish paste, not 100% sure. It's doing pretty good. Then these are the mini jalapenos, and it's not a mini plant, but I think they're mini peppers, because it doesn't look like, let me see if I can show you this one, it's not very big, so it's mini peppers, it's not mini plants. Now that we've cleared that up. Yeah, so they just look like they get about that big-ish. So that's pretty cool. And then finally, this is the Roma and Amish paste. And they are doing pretty good. They're still pretty small, so they still have some time. Although they are starting to take over a little bit. But yeah, no, I think the broccoli was the winner. The celery was pretty cool. Obviously, I love having the lettuce. So having all that lettuce and then the broccoli with the kale has been making awesome salads. I am sad that the cucumber isn't going to make it, but you know, it is what it is. But if you found this video useful, it would be really nice if you give it a like and share, because then other people can also find this video and, you know, they can start up their own AeroGardens and grow along with me. If you didn't catch my sourdough video, I've got a new series that I'm doing on Saturdays called Sourdough Saturday. I will link the first video in that series, but we're going to start a starter together, and I'll show you how to keep it sweet if you're not a fan of the sour ones, and I'll even show you what to do with your discard. So go check that out. It's a fun video, and I will see you next time on the AeroGarden Homestead.